So what's happening with Glass Box? Is that
Can we talk about something other than Hollywood for a change?
Yeah. Yes.
We're educated people.
Sure.
We're all insiders now when it comes to Hollywood. We know the Monday morning grosses and we know who got which points. We know who the agents are. We know what the entourages are. We've got it all figured out. But of course, Robert Altman and Michael Tolkin, the director and writer of The Player, were in on it a long time before we were.
It's murder. The DA decides to go for the big one. He's going to put the wife in the gas chamber.
But the DA falls in love with the wife.
They figured out not only the game itself, but also our desire to be part of it, which is why The Player remains perhaps the best Hollywood satire ever made.
The DA breaks into the prison, runs down death row. But he gets there too late. The gas pellets have been dropped. She's dead. I tell you, there's not a dry eye in the house.
Plot was never among Robert Altman's primary interests as a filmmaker. He would have been the first to tell you that. But nonetheless, The Player tells an intricate and clever detective story. Tim Robbins plays Griffin Mill, an ambitious young mid-level studio executive, whose usual run of personal and professional anxieties are greatly compounded when he kills a screenwriter and becomes tied up in the police investigation. But honestly, what could matter less in Hollywood than the death of a writer? Even so, The Player is a very well-written movie, and it has some wonderful classic Altman touches. A rich and varied cast, a sprawling canvas of action that stops just this side of complete anarchy, and a polyphonic sound design that turns throwaway lines into unexpected comic gems. And of course, no film geek or movie reviewer can fail to mention what must be the most elaborate and self-conscious opening shot in all of movies. 8 minutes long, shown here in its entirety at slightly faster speed.
And not unlike Ghost meets Manchurian Candidate.
There are also dozens of celebrity cameos, so a lot of the time you can't tell who's acting and who's just being themselves.
Oh, look. I want to thank my mother and her mother. And
so now we're seeing Hollywood the way it really is. But of course, we're also watching a Hollywood movie, one that both subverts and fulfills our expectations of what Hollywood can do and what movies can be.
All right, it's a Hollywood story, Griff, a real thriller. It's about a bag producer, studio exec who murders a writer he thinks is harassing him. Problem is, he kills the wrong writer. Now he's got to deal with blackmail as well as the cops. But here's the switch. Son of a bitch, he gets away with it.
Larry, get off the speaker. I want to talk to him privately.
Sure thing. This is a winner, Griffin. It's a winner.
The Player presents us with a lying, cynical, selfish movie executive, and then what does it do? It gets us to root for this guy, and therefore to root against all of the underdogs that he's trampling. People like, say, Bob Altman himself.
If you can guarantee me that ending, you got a deal.
Why do we root for Griffin Mill? We root for him because The Player indulges our fantasy of being on the inside, and also our endless attraction to power, good looks, and happy endings.
Took you so long.
Traffic was a bitch.